Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 274. My name is Rob Hoback. I'm happy that you're here, honored and humbled that you continue showing up. So thank you, like for reals. Today is Thursday. Yeah, no, it's Wednesday. I wrote myself a note to do something tomorrow. That's why I said Thursday. Sorry. It's a hump day. It's also a work day, and it's time to get to work. So first things first. I'm still the realist. I'm also thankful, and I'm going to be specific about what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for air conditioning. It is supposed to be the hottest day of the year here in northeast Oklahoma, which and what we're talking about is that we're going to set a record today. We already have for the highest low temperature of the day. So this morning, it's about 7 a.m. here, and it's already over 80 degrees. Yeah, it's supposed to be the coolest time of the day. So I'm very, very thankful for air conditioning because as a child, I grew up without air conditioning most of the time. Air conditioning was the exception, not the rule, right? So, yeah, like the fact that I'm in air conditioning all the damn time now, this is way better. So I'm very thankful for that. And then my question of the day is this your first day, right? And I love to ask that, kind of a smart aleck when somebody asks me a question that they should know the answer to, right? But what I'm referring to today is not that. I'm talking about Chris Herren. So if you haven't heard of Chris Herren, and I appreciate the tip from the QE1 that there was going to be a show on last night. Thank you. Appreciate it. Watched both of them with both of my older kids, made them sit there and watch it. Chris Herren, born in 1975, Fall River, Massachusetts, multi-generational basketball star. And Fall River, Mass, which is, an hour north of Boston, basketball town, right? They take a lot of pride in the fact that they've produced some excellent basketball players. This guy he was just anointed that that's who he's going to be. So one of the top players in the United States was recruited by Rick Pitino when he was at Kentucky, and you had Krzyzewski at Duke, and all these other guys. He decided to stay home, play at Boston College, and from there it was just a slow descent. And as he says, it was torture. He grew up in an environment where there was lots of drinking and drugs and casual drug use, and it was just accepted. It was part of the deal, and it was a gateway. And he didn't ever learn how to control it, and but over the course of the next 10 years, he methodically just destroyed every opportunity that was given to him. And, then he went on a speaking tour. And about, 5-6 years ago, there was a 30 for 30 called Unguarded. And I remember watching about him and him going out on the road and telling kids, like, don't be like me. Don't ruin your reputation. Well, they followed it up last night with another one where he's now spoken to over 1 million high school and college kids, told his story, and his storyline has changed. And instead of him telling, his awful story over and over again, he's like, look, I just need you to understand from my perspective, when I was a kid, this was never going to happen to me because I didn't look like what I was taught, drug addicts look like. Drug addicts come from poor families and they're poor people, and that's just their lot in life. He's like, that's not who I was at all. My parents were successful. We had money. We had respect. We had all of these things. But there was some alcoholism in his family too, and he talks about it openly. Talks about how he didn't, like he saw that. He knew that it was a problem, and he repeated it. And so the first day is what he's talking about. He's like, look, people like to come in with the scare tactic and show pictures or a video of what somebody was like at the very end. He's like, let's start at the beginning. We are all, this could happen to any one of us. And that was his point. The other thing that he talks about is that it was all about confidence for him, right? And he talked about how as a high school kid, kind of the toast of the town, every Friday and Saturday night when he went to parties with kids that he'd grown up since he was in, 5-6 years old, went to kindergarten with these kids. He felt like he couldn't face them and he couldn't be himself without being messed up. Had to be drunk, had to get high, had to do whatever, right? And as those became not enough for him. He continued to look for a more potent drug, and it went from beers and some weed as a high school kid up to uh, opioids. Started taking pills when he couldn't find the pills. Then he started snorting heroin, and then it went to shots. And next thing you know, the guy's dead, literally dead. Paramedics are having to wake him up from an overdose. So, yeah, just those are the two things that I thought about all night last night, that I thought about this morning. Right? Doesn't matter where you come from. Addiction affects all of us. Number two, don't hide it, right? That's what he's saying. He's like, look, I knew it was a problem. He didn't control the narrative. He waited for the narrative to control him. And then the last thing was just, it was about confidence for him, that he didn't feel comfortable being himself. Like that wasn't enough. Like he needed to be more, which isn't that what we all struggle with, right? We watch too much television, we pay attention to too many ads, and we start thinking, I need to be somebody that I'm not. And we look for an escape. So it's very sad, but very empowering. And then the last thing that just really, really struck me is that as you hear Chris Herren talk now, he's like, look, I always thought my destiny was to become a basketball player, was to be a basketball player, was to be known as a basketball player. He's like, look, looks like there's a different mission for me, right? What I thought was what was going to be my end game was just a vehicle to get me to what I was really supposed to do, and that was supposed to be helping other people. And now he gets to do both, right? He gets to use basketball as his way to open the door to have a conversation about something that's so much more important. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, guys, we're better together. Appreciate you stopping by this morning. Hands up. Peace out. We'll be back tomorrow. I heard this fact this morning. 50 days until football season kicks off in the NFL. 50 days. It's less than 2 months. It's exciting, huh? I think we can do this. All right. Have a great day. Go out and enjoy your hump day. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Looking forward to seeing you then. Deuces.